Okay. Expressing partial agreement. Yes, partial agreement. Partial. Was it partial agreement?
Partly agree.
It's partly, yes? Not complete. Sometimes when I ask you something, not about agreement, but how are you feeling? How was the test? So-so. So when you say so-so, what does so-so mean here?
Not good, not
Like when I ask you things like so-so, not bad, not so bad, not too bad, not. No. Yeah? These are partial, but about agreement. So-so is not about agreement, right? I can't say, do you agree? And you say so-so. But you can say it's okay with me. Rather, it's not like perfectly, I don't. So, like when you say so-so, not bad, these are partial. But partial answers to a different question. Now, I would put a few of these phrases here. More or less. So we'll say more or less. Up to a point. A point. Not my favorite. To some extent. Of course, almost. Especially to some extent. Yeah, more or less. Almost used a lot. We have a phrase, so to speak, here, but that's a different one. So it won't help a lot in writing. But it helps a lot in speaking, though. But so the ones I emphasize are the ones that are very important. Like here, to some extent. We also have to a great extent, to a large extent, to some extent, to a great extent. Can you use to some extent? So if you say I partially agree or I partially disagree, do you agree? Not completely. Sometimes you partially agree. So in IELTS, for example, they give you one statement with two premises. You can say I partially agree with the statement. I agree with the fact that, but I beg to differ, but I disagree with something. In speaking, we say I beg to differ. I beg to differ. So I beg to differ is a good way of, is a polite way of saying I disagree. It means I differ means I have a difference with you. I beg to differ. So if you say I beg to differ or I beg to differ with you on or about something. Few words. If you say I partially agree with you, or I agree with part of the statement, I agree with part of the first half. Or with half of what you said. I partially agree with what you said. I agree with half of what you said. Not completely. Yes? Not completely. Not totally. So partially is the opposite of totally. So sometimes say I partially agree. It's the opposite of saying I totally agree, I completely agree, I strongly agree. I strongly agree. Or you can say disagree. I strongly disagree. So strongly is a good word. Like totally is a good word. I totally agree or totally disagree. I firmly, with actually a small f, firmly. So I totally agree, strongly agree, firmly agree with what you said. Now, totally disagree, utterly disagree. Partially agree with something. I agree with half of the argument, of the statement, of the first half. I disagree. However, I disagree with the second half, or the second premise of the statement. You know, I talked about the premises, premise. I agree with the first premise of the statement because some statements have two premises. One premise is one argument and two arguments. You agree with the debate, with the discussion. I told you, this is a very critical point, not just in IELTS, but in any form of writing. Every time you want to agree or disagree with something or say something, it's good to recognize the opposite side. We call that concession in IELTS. And I talked about it. Conceding, to concede, to give concessions. It's good to concede. What does concede mean here? We talked about it. Does anyone remember? You want to say, I believe this. But you should also recognize the fact that many people don't agree with you. So how could you concede? You could say, some say this, but personally, I believe, yes? Some say this. However, I believe, however, in my opinion, however, I tend to disagree. So, you can say a lot of people say this, but I don't think it's true in this case. So, this is recognizing that you are not the only, your opinion is not the only opinion or the only correct, right, sound opinion here. This is good in academic writing. Academic people are not usually black and white. Yes? They're not black and white. What I'm saying is absolutely true. It's good to recognize that the opposition exists, and they may have a point. While others believe some suggest it is widely accepted that, it is widely said, it is said that, it is believed that. But personally, but in my opinion, in my view, my point of view, is different. But I beg to differ with the conventional wisdom on this particular issue. Most people seem to, but no, you beg to differ, right? You are different. You want to say something different. So it's good. When you want to agree or disagree, it's good. Some say this, others say this. I agree with the first camp, with the second. So, showing cause. So from agreement to disagreement, I want to move on to showing cause. Yeah. What is cause? The reason, right? So we have two major things in IELTS, or TOEFL, or in our writing, generally speaking, or in speaking. One is compare and contrast, where you compare two things, two people, or two objects, or two schools of thought, or whatever, A and B. One is cause and effect. You talk about causes and effects. In this case, we have showing cause. Showing cause. What are we talking about here? Showing cause. First, let's talk about when we're talking about a reason. When we talk about so on the one hand we have causes, and on the other hand we have effects, right? So let's first talk about the causes. We have cause and effect. Here we have due to, because of. What else comes to your mind? Because of or because of. What else?
Since as. Since as.
Since is good. As.
Resulting from. Result from.
No, that's about result. That's about effects.
Oh, so.
Thanks to.
That's why.
That's why. We have that's why and that's because. That's why.
Spring from.
Of course, we have that's because. We will talk about these two.
But isn't that's why also a consequence?
Yeah. We have two of them. One is that's why. One is that's because. One of them is a consequence. The other one, I want to look at them here and then. Thanks to, as, since, because of, due to. Then we have some big ones. In light of. And it becomes more and more advanced. Owing to. No. Remember, you shouldn't use every single one that you see here. You should use the ones that you're comfortable with, that are easy to remember and easy to use. Right now is the time to try and figure out how to use any of these. Now is the time for that. But later on, when you're actually taking the test on that day, you should use the one you actually really feel comfortable with. And you feel like you won't make a mistake. Now, let's start with due to. Somebody give me a summary with due to.
Due to the increasing purchase of private vehicles.
Due to the increase in the purchase of private vehicles, due to the increase.
Increase of private vehicle.
Okay. Private vehicles.
Cars.
So the traffic on the streets, the rise in traffic is largely, mainly due to the increase in the purchase of private vehicles or in the production and manufacturing of private vehicles. Okay. We were late due to the TTC, a delay in TTC, a 5-minute delay. Due to means because of, right? Or you can say,
Went to school late.
yes, I was late at school due to a delay, a TTC delay. Yes? So due to, because. Because of, easy. Or because. He was tired because he had run a 10K. She had run a 6K. Because of her what? Easy.
Because of her.
You can say because of her, everyone did something, or because of her something.
Passion.
She managed to pass the test because of her hard work. Thanks to her hard work. Due to,
Thanks to technology, we become
thanks to technology, we can do a lot of things these days.
easy access to.
Since, not point of time. Since you were late, you cannot do something. You can't have lunch today. Because you were late. Since you're a doctor, you must be able to answer this question. It's a medical question. Because. Yes? Since meaning because. Since you didn't pass the test. Sure. Okay.
We just think.
So as somebody suggested as. Who suggested as? Please give me a sentence.
As their siblings, they share, and they have many shared personalities.
What happened to as? I didn't understand.
As they are siblings.
Oh, since they're siblings, as they're siblings. Yes and no. Usually we don't use it. Yeah, and it's not my favorite, but people use it as. As I was very tired, because I was very tired, I didn't do something. I couldn't drive back home. I stayed with my friends for the night. But I personally don't use it much. Thanks to, rather informal. You don't usually use it in formal texts and contexts. So thanks to technology, you can use it in personal emails a lot. But usually in formal texts, we have due to, which is the best. So due to would be the best maybe here in IELTS. In light of new research, new cancer research, scientists, or in light of new evidence found, in light of new research, scientists can now have now access to better ways of perhaps solving a medical problem. And especially, let's talk about lung cancer. In light of new research done in the area of lung cancer, surgeons have access to new methods of treatment and cure. In light of means thanks to, but formal. Owing to what we now know about the deleterious, the negative effects, the adverse effects of smoking. It means because of what we now know, thanks to, owing to. When I owe you something, I should give you some money, right? I got some money from you, so I owe you some money. But owing to the fact that it's rather big. The best here would be due to, because of course. That's why I had run a lot, and because of that, that's why I was very tired. That's why I was very tired. I have been working all day. That's why I'm a little tired. This is the reason why. This or that. That is the reason why. Or this is the reason why. So it's also a little bit about cause, because we're talking about the cause. But that's why, because of that, so how about effect? That's because it's a little bit different. He's tired. That's because, or it's because he has been working all day. That's why. Is that the reason why? That's because we're talking about the cause. That's why, effect. That's because, cause. That's because he has been working all day. See? They're a little different. It's good to know the difference between that's why and that's because. Oh, you can't solve the problem? That's because you haven't studied enough. Means the reason is you haven't studied. That's because you haven't studied enough. But that's why. You can't do it? You didn't sleep enough. That's why you can't do it. You didn't sleep enough. That's why you're not fresh today. It means the reason why you're not fresh today the reason why scientists cannot find a cure for cancer, the reason that, not here. The reason why, it means the reason. The reason why scientists can't find a cure for cancer is the fact that cancer cells mutate differently every time. So the reason why, and that's why, that's the reason why, and that's why, that is why, or that's the reason why, scientists cannot find. Cancer cells mutate differently every time. That's why mutate. To change, mutate. But that's not what I mean now. Forget about the word. So scientists, well, cancer cells mutate differently every time. They change. But the change is not the same. Every time the cell divides. That's why scientists can't find a cure. Viruses change all the time. That's why scientists can't find a definitive cure for common cold, for cold. There's no cure for that. Because the viruses change. That's why. I have been working all day. That's why I'm tired. That's the reason why I'm tired. I'm tired the other way around. Can I say that's why I have run? I'm very tired. That's why I have run. That's because I have run. I am very tired. Tired, that's the effect. That's because I have run a lot. That's because I've been working all day. So what was the cause? The cause was working all day. Tired is the effect. I'm very tired. Why? Because I've run all day. Or that's because I've run. But I'm very tired. That's why I can't go to the activity today. That's why I can't go with you. That's why I can't go to the gym tonight. That's why I won't do something. So that's why and that's because are different. So if I say that's because, you're looking for the cause. That's because I have run a lot. I have worked a lot. What's the cause? I'm very tired. That's why. So this is the cause. The effect. You're waiting for the effect. One, you're looking for the cause. The other one, you're waiting for the effect. That's why I can't join you. That's why I can't come to the party tonight. Listen, I've been working so hard today. That's why I can't come to the party. So that's why and that's because. Very important, different. So here, due to is good, something you need to learn. Due to a large increase in carbon emissions, the global warming is a gathering and imminent threat. Or there has been an increase or a jump or a hike in the global warming rate.
Can you make the example of in light of?
Yeah, just wait a second, because I'm summing up. Due to is a good one. I don't want you to remember in light of and O2 very much for the test. It's good to know them for your personal knowledge, those who want to work on them. But the things that are essential would be due to. I want everyone to know due to. Because of that. Because of you, he's not coming to the picnic. Because you said no, I'm not doing this. Because of that, I won't talk to you. So, since is also good, as is not my favorite, and it's not very formal, meaning as because. I took my umbrella with me as it was raining. Yes, it's used. I took the umbrella with me as it was raining. But I can say because it was raining. But if you say due to, in this sentence, that's too big because due to is formal. Due to rain, I took the umbrella with me. No. Due to is formal, very formal, and used in more formal occasions. And due to what? You should learn how to use this. Due to
my lack of experience, I feel.
Due to something. We need either a noun or a noun phrase. Noun or a noun
Due to
phrase.
my lack of experience.
My lack of experience is a noun phrase. Due to the delay is a noun. Due to something. Due to you went there. No. Can I say due to you went there? Like that? No. Due to something. That something is a noun. Due to the delay at TTC or due to the TTC delay, I was late. Due to the fact that, this the fact that can save us a lot of times. Due to the fact that scientists cannot do this due to the fact that they cannot find the cure for the cancer. So the fact that, because after the fact that is like an adapter. When you put the fact that, then you can bring a clause sentence after it. Due to the fact that, what? Due to the fact that scientists have not been able to find a cure for cancer, many patients continue to die from this disease, or die of this disease. Due to your carelessness, your carelessness is a noun phrase. To something, your carelessness. It's not one noun. Two things together. So, remember, what happens in the sentences is due to I couldn't see him, no. No. But if I put due to the fact that I couldn't see him, things become right. That's why the fact that helps a lot. It's pretty much like in spite of. In spite of your obstinacy, in spite of your insistence, in spite of your laziness, Instead of that, in spite of the fact that you are a lazy person, in spite of the fact that she's a lazy person, she still went on and did that. But she did a good job. So the fact that could be a good adapter. So I want you to learn because of, and because of that. Due to, very good. Since, it's good to know since. Since you're a doctor, you must be able to help me. Since you're a computer expert, you must be able to tell me what's wrong with my computer. Since I can't attend the meeting, I'm asking my brother to fill in for me. Since I can't be here next week, I'm going to talk to the teacher to see what he can do for me. So this since means because. It's not that since Wednesday. Thanks to. Informal. Thanks to you, we're all losing. We lost the game. Thanks to John. Thanks to your carelessness. Thanks to the rain. The game got cancelled. That's why that's because extremely important. I talked about it. I'm very tired. That's why or that's because I've been running all day. Which one? That's because. It means because I've been running all day. I'm very tired. That's why. Complete the sentence. I'm very tired. That's why
I can't go
I can't go to school. I can't go to the meeting. I can't join you guys. So that's why and that's because. Please note the difference. In light of, she asked for an example, Tian. Yes. In light of new research in the field of lung cancer, scientists, there are new cures for, or there's new hope for finding a cure for this special kind of cancer. Owing to means we owe this to. Owing to new research carried out in the field of lung cancer, scientists are now hopeful to find better cures for the disease. But not very essential for you. But the reason why I'm telling you this is important is because this is important. That's why I keep emphasizing and emphasizing and emphasizing. That's because I have some 20 years of experience in this field and I know how important these sentences are. And the main reason is, you think you know them, when you use them, you don't use them right. So please, I have said it over and over and over again. My problem mainly is with the things that you think you know. Not the things that you don't know. I don't need it for you to go work on neocortex because neocortex will not help you one bit. Not at all. I want you to go home and watch this video and try to look up more sentences, example sentences in Longman Dictionary or other dictionaries that are good, and work on those sentences and try to, if you know this, I'll be happy tomorrow. Because I know, hey, she can use them in speaking and writing. That's what counts. Thank you.